Welcome to Rovers TV and the LD Nutrition Stadium for this round 11 Kingstone Press Championship clash between Featherstone Rovers and Bradford Bulls. Today's sponsors, the big match sponsors, Green Door, Cell Store, match ball sponsor Heineken, associate match sponsor DJL Fencing Contractors Limited, man of the match sponsor GMB. Featherstone Rovers line up first of all, number 1 Ian Hardman, 4 Missy Tyler Papa, 3 Chris Alunya, 23 Josh Hardcastle, 18 Scott Turner, 7 Anthony Thackeray, 31 Corey Aston, 16 Luke Cooper, 9 Keel Carlisle, 13 Richard Moore, 11 Michael Knowles, 12 John Davis, Lockwood. On the interchange bench, number 8 Darrell Griffin, 19 Matty Wildy, 30 Jack Ormondroyd, 10 Andy Bostock, head coach John Sharp. Bradford Bulls lineup, number 19 Johnny Campbell, 5 Ilyas McCarney, 4 Ross Oates, 2 Ethan Ryan, 18 Amari Caro, 14 Oscar Thomas, 7 Joe Keys, 34 Scott Moore, 8 Liam Kirk, 20 James Bentley, 16 Kevin Laroya, and 21 Brandon Wilkinson. On the interchange, 26 Vila Halafihi, 36 James Davis, 35 Evan Hodgson, and 25 Keenan Tomlinson. Head coach is Lee Beattie. Referee is Liam Jones. My name's Joanne Fitzpatrick. This is Rovers TV, and accompanying me today is Ben Gunnarsall. Good afternoon, Ben. Stage is set for this round 11 clash. We've got plenty of Bradford fans over there in the new stand end. Featherstone Rovers and Bradford Bulls teams both taking to the field. Featherstone Rovers lining up for a photograph at the moment. Bradford gone to set their positions, and we can see immediately that Bradford will be playing up the slope in the first half towards their fans.
And it is. We've just been down pitch side. Conditions looks to be pretty good at the moment. There is a very slight breeze in the air, but conditions, it's gentle. The pitch looks in good condition as well. So with a team which is able to get on top early, and we've just been saying pitch side as well, Joanne, just how important it is that Rovers get a good start today.
It certainly is, yes. So as we say, to be playing towards Post Office Road end as Corey Aston kicks this game off, this round 11 championship clash, and the ball is taken well there by Ethan Ryan over on that Bradford Bulls right hand side, 15 metres away from his own line. It's down the short side, and there is Featherstone Rovers have come up with the ball with Luke Cooper. It was a mistake over on that right-hand side by Bradford Bulls, and they've lost the ball. So Featherstone Rovers 15 metres out with James Lockwood in his 100th game for the club.
What an opportunity now for Rovers, Joanna. Mistaking the first set from the Bulls.
Yeah, the ball comes out right now to Richard Moore. He drives it towards the centre and gets tackled 8 metres short. So excellent opportunity early on for Featherstone Rovers here. Comes to the left, Keel Carlisle to Cooper. A tackle just a couple of metres short. Carlisle now over to the left. It goes over to Lockwood, but Lockwood, same place as where Cooper's just driven it in. There's 4 Bradford Bulls players there to meet him. Some width now to Davis. Davis to Hardman. Hardman to Hardcastle. It goes to Tyler Papa, who tries to dive in there. I'm not sure if he's got the try. He has, I think. Tyler Papa gets the try. Minutes here at the LD Nutrition Stadium.
We've talked about Will Sharp doing it, Joanne. We've talked about other players doing it as well. Now Missy Tyler Papa's having to go a Superman dive. And what a Superman dive it was to get that ball down in the corner. It was well worked up from Rovers. Off the mistake of the Bulls in their first set. It was well worked out to the right through the hands of Hardman, who pulled the winger in. Tyler Papa saw the space. The defence came across and it looked like they closed the gap. But a real great Superman dive from Tyler Papa to get the ball down. We talked about wanting a good start. Rovers have got it. 4, Featherstone Rovers 0.
Featherstone Rovers 4, Bradford Bulls 0. Yes, Corey Aston here with a difficult kick from the right-hand touch line. He's only a metre or so in. After that, absolutely outstanding dive there from Missy Talapapa in this right-hand corner to score. It was a pass from Hardcastle that put him in, but Hardman it was that came in. Now Aston getting ready to have a go at this conversion attempt. It just pulls to the right, so it remains Featherstone Rovers 4, Bradford Bulls 0 after 3 minutes of play. So what a start that is for Featherstone Rovers, Ben.
And it's what we've been wanting all season, Joanne, a good start. We've gone behind in so many games this season early on, so either through good play from the opposition or our own mistakes. But today, it's a dream start. It was a superb finish from Missy for his first try of the season. I'm sure we'll see plenty more as well.
Joe Keys then restarting this game. The kickoff goes to Ian Hardman, who collects it safely and takes the tackle 22 metres away from his own line. Carlisle now lays the pass off to Richard Moore, who is dumped to the ground by 2 Bradford Bulls players. Evades the first tackle, so that was a good drive by Luke Cooper. It's a quick play of the ball as well. It comes out to the left with Michael Knowles. Michael Knowles just got his shirt tugged, but he's made it into the Featherstone Rovers half and the 35 metres away from the line with James Lockwood. James Lockwood putting the drive in. Last tackle, 25 metres away from the line. It comes out to the left with Thackeray. Thackeray puts a little kick over the top, and it's well taken there, though, by Johnny Campbell out on that right-hand side, but it's a penalty to Bradford Bulls because Chris Delunya actually dragged Johnny Campbell over the dead ball line. He was looking for the dropout, but the referee said he'd already shouted held, and it was an illegal pull.
The only thing, disappointing to concede the penalty, but when you're that tight to the opposition's try line and that tight to the touch line, they're not going to make many yards. So on the line, they're only just on their own 20-metre line.
Certainly are. So just short of the 30 now as that drive comes in from Liam Kirk. So Bradford now over to the left-hand side, but good tackling there by Davis, Aston and Hardcastle. So Bradford still in their own half at the moment. It's coming out onto this left-hand side. Talapapa in well there, though, on the Bradford player, on Campbell. So the kick comes in now from Oscar Thomas. It goes over the top of Scott Turner. He makes a bit of a mistake, and Carney comes up with the ball, but it's still it's the last tackle. It was kicked on the 4th by Bradford, but they are 30 metres away from the Featherstone line. Kick comes in now. Ian Hardman takes it well, though, on his own 10.
Ian Hardman will take those all day, won't he? A kick through and from the Bulls. It was a good kick previously to that caused all sorts of problems for Turner. But on the last, Ian Hardman, safe as houses, as you'd expect under that high kick.
Yeah, it was a high-towering kick, wasn't it, on the 4th from Oscar Thomas. It went over the head of Scott Turner. He lost track of where the flight of the ball was, and it could have been nasty, but it ended up that Bradford couldn't put a decent kick on the last, and Ian Harmon got it, and that's a penalty to Featherstone now.
One thing to say about that, with that incident from that kick, is how quickly Rovers responded defensively to quickly close down the winger on that far side as well.
Yeah, Bradford not standing square at the play of the ball. So Anthony Thackeray on the halfway line puts that penalty kick into touch. It's going to be a tap about 25 metres away from that Bradford line. Cross now, Thackeray to Lockwood. I think he's had a haircut as Lockwood. I don't recognise him. So the ball comes and it goes across to Thackeray. Thackeray with a short pass to Cooper. Cooper 5 metres away, gets tackled from that line. Again, Featherstone in a good position. Carlisle gets it to Thackeray. Thackeray to Knowles out on that left-hand side, but he's tackled by 3 Bradford players. Still 5 metres away from the line. It's a quick pass to Turner from Carlisle, but I think he's going to be held up over the line. Doesn't get dragged into touch. Held up over the line was Scott Turner. So he's going to go back to the 10 metres and play the ball. Comes across now to Thackeray. Thackeray to Aston. And it's the last tackle now. Aston takes it to 5 metres within the Bradford line. It comes across now to Hardman. Hardman with a cut-out pass to Talapapa, who tries to put a kick in, but it goes into touch. So that Featherstone attack comes to nothing, but it will be a scrum on the Bradford 10-metre.
If you are going to turn possession over, that's probably one of the best places you can do it. It's never good to turn it over in the first place, but if you are going to do it, then it's best to do it tight to the opposition's line. So they've got a Bulls player with blood on his face at the minute. Can't
Liam
see
Kirk, I think.
Liam Kirk it is, so he's just going to get cleaned up. But what a start this has been from Featherstone Rovers, John. In the opening 7 minutes, almost total dominance of the Bradford Bulls, with the exception of that one kick from Oscar Thomas. But Rovers at the moment are just in control.
They certainly are, yeah. I mean, to be fair to Talapapa there, he did get the ball in an impossible situation from Ian Hardman. The Bradford covering defence with Caro had come across, and he felt he could only put the boot to ball, but it's better to put it into touch there so that Bradford are having to bring it away from the 10-metre scrum, like you just said, Ben, which they are doing, and they almost made a mistake there with Oscar Thomas. He had to pluck that ball out of the air. It was a bad pass to him. So now on this left-hand side, Bradford 30 metres away from their own line. 8 minutes gone. It's Featherstone Rovers 4, Bradford Bulls 0. And there's the penalty to Bradford. Corey Aston was laid in the ruck and he said, I couldn't get out of the way, Mr. Jones. But the referee says, no, you had a chance to get out of the way. To be fair to Aston, he wasn't moving, was he?
No. We see that so often over this season, Joanne, with penalties won in the ruck in similar situations where the attacking player plays the ball deliberately into the opposition to win the penalty.
I'm not sure where they're supposed to go when they're in the ruck like that. Anyway, Bradford with the ball, they're 35 metres away from that Featherstone Rovers line as they drive it in with Johnny Campbell. He plays the ball, it comes into the middle. Luke Cooper there to meet the player, that's Brandon Wilkinson, and it's coming over now with Keys. Keys goes one way and goes the other, but Luke Cooper with a great tackle. That's 2 tackles on the trot. He's come up with Bradford 12 metres out, and the little kick comes through. It's going to go dead, though. It's well watched by Featherstone Rovers, by Scott Turner, who's going to take a quick tap on the 20. And Bradford are all offside there, but the referee's not seen it. Turner gets the offload to Alunya. Alunya gets it to Hardcastle. Hardcastle takes it over the 40, and that's the start of the 6 tackles now.
What a good break from Rovers off the back of that 7-tackle restart, making fully 20 metres, and within 3 tackles, they're now attacking on the Bulls 30, Joanne.
They are with Chris Alunya, and Alunya with a quick play the ball to Carlisle. Carlisle to Moore. Moore driving it forwards. That's 15 metres forwards. Richard Moore takes it. He's 12 metres away. Carlisle goes on his own. Liam Kirk with a good tackle, though, just short of that try line. Plays the ball, comes to Aston. Aston to Thackeray. Thackeray with a pass out to Lockwood. Lockwood driving towards the line, but he's held up short, and it's the last tackle now. Ball is played. It's a bad pass, though. It goes over Thackeray's left head. Lost some ground there. Thackeray puts the kick over to the right, but it's going to be easy for Caro to take. And Hardcastle and Davis meet him, and they'll be looking to drive him back over the line. But they don't. Caro goes down a metre short of his own line. That's a great tackle there by Hardcastle there on Johnny Campbell. He's a man possessed out there. Is Josh Hardcastle. He's in every tackle at the moment.
Disappointing way to end that set for Featherstone Rovers. Michael Knowles was the man at acting half as Amari Caro knocks on his own 20. So Rovers are going to get head and feet at the scrum.
And can I give full credit to Josh Hardcastle there? He was like a man possessed, as I said there. He was in every tackle after that set was given over to Bradford, and he was in on that tackle where Amari Caro lost the ball then, and Featherstone are going to get this scrum on the 20-metre line. An excellent opportunity.
Featherstone Rovers look really hungry this afternoon. The way they're hunting the ball down, the moves that they're putting on, it's superb to watch at the minute.
Comes to Alunya now. Alunya 15 metres away from the line. He gets the ball away, though. Gets it away to Turner in the middle of the field. Turner to Cooper. Cooper gets it out. It comes out to Davis to the right-hand side to Hardcastle, and Hardcastle's going to score. So the ball went one way, it went to the left, it came back to the right. What great keeping the ball alive, Featherstone Rovers there, and Josh Hardcastle fully deserves that.
Absolutely superb rugby league from Featherstone Rovers. I just had a appreciative nod to the rugby to the play as well. But the way that Rovers moved that ball through the hands over to his right-hand side, once again the overlap was created, and the pass out from Ian Hardman, it was a two-man overlap. The pass from Hardman to Hardcastle, he backed himself despite having Talapapa on his outside. He backed himself, able to get that ball down. And what a start we're seeing from Featherstone Rovers this afternoon. It's Featherstone Rovers 8, Bradford Bulls 0. Have had 11 and a half minutes.
Corey Aston there with this conversion attempt. It's in a very simple, in fact, I think it's exactly the same position that he had before for the Missy Talapapa try. So let's see what he can do with this, whether he can rectify how he performed before with it. So it's just about half a metre in from this right-hand touchline towards the posts. Here he comes with a conversion attempt. That one is through. No, it's not. It's just missed to the side. It looked as though it was through then, but from where he kicked it here, but the touch judges waved the flags to say no. So it remains Featherstone Rovers 8, Bradford Bulls 0 after 12 minutes of play.
What a start this is, though, from Featherstone Rovers, Joanne. Defensively, they're looking strong. They're able to force mistakes from the Bulls in deep positions, and they're capitalising on them as well.
And the kickoff comes from Bradford. It bounces before Missy Talapapa, but he picks it up well and drives forward. He's such a strong player, is Talapapa. 25 metres away from his own line. And there's a penalty to Featherstone Rovers. Talapapa tried to play the ball, and I think it was Bentley there that was messing around in the ruck as Aston kicks the ball. It just falls short of the gantry just down beneath us, so it just makes it over the halfway line. As ball's played by Carlisle, and it comes to Cooper. Cooper, who's had a very good opening 12 minutes, hasn't he, Ben?
It's been superb. It's one of those players, John, whenever he gets the opportunity, he drives the ball in so hard. His work rate is phenomenal. And a lot of fans are...
Hardman now, Hardman out to Alunya. Alunya gets caught. And Alunya's got the ball away to Scott Turner, who scores under the posts.
Another try for Featherstone Rovers, who are running riot here at the LD Nutrition Stadium. I had to stop myself calling the Bigfellas then. But Rovers, another superb break, this time down the left-hand side from Ian Hardman, who had Turner on his outside, who ran in on the angle. As Ian Hardman drew the defence out to try and suck them out wide, the defence followed Hardman, created the gap on the inside for Turner to come back in on the angle. Couldn't recover, and Featherstone Rovers are running riot.
I never saw Alunya get that ball away then. I thought he got tackled into touch and he managed to get that pass on the inside. That was brilliant play by Chris Alunya. So a much easier conversion attempt here for Corey Aston. It's under the posts, more or less, so he should kick this over and put Featherstone Rovers even further into this lead after 15 minutes of play. So he's just eyeing up the post now. Here he comes, takes it, and it's through the middle there. So Featherstone Rovers even further in front. It's Featherstone Rovers 14, Bradford Bulls 0 after 15 minutes of play.
Almost running at a point a minute at the minute, Featherstone Rovers, and they're looking so good, Joanne. The way they're moving the ball around, stretching this Bradford defence from one side to the other, and Bradford at the moment, when Rovers do that quickly, Bradford just can't respond quickly enough.
And as the kickoff comes, and Ian Harmon takes it this time, lays it off to Richard Moore. Richard Moore gets a pass out the back. Featherstone Rovers, luckily Missy Talapapa was alert to that pass because it could have gone anywhere. It was perhaps not the one that John Sharp would be wanting his players to be doing on his own 20. Anyway, the ball comes across to Anthony Thackeray, to Knowles. Knowles to Alunya. Alunya Drives it forward. He's pulled down just short of his own 40. Plays the ball. It comes to Lockwood. Lockwood driving it in, gets it to the halfway line. It comes across now. Carlisle takes it himself a little bit, gets it to Aston. Aston shows a dummy, but it's well read there by Scott Moore, who tackles Aston to the ground, but he gives away a penalty for putting a hand in as Aston tries to play the ball. It's a kickable penalty, but I think after last week and how it's been going, they're not going to go for two, are they? Even though some of the crowd are shouting that.
Not at this stage. I mean, Tim Sheen said he was glad that Rovers took the two several times on Friday.
And what a kick by Aston to touch there. It's a tap 8 metres away from the line. A brilliant kick by Aston. Johnny Davis with the ball now, but Bradford defence is good. It drives him back to where the tap was taken from. So it comes now into the middle with Aston. Aston switches the sides back to Carlisle, but Ross Oakes was alert to that switch of direction of play there, and Carlisle gets tackled on his 10. Comes with Aston in the middle, out to Thackeray. Thackeray on the run around with Lockwood. Lockwood driving his legs. Be great for him to get a try on his 100th game for Featherstone Rovers, but he's 2 metres short, and it comes now into the middle with Thackeray. Thackeray to Aston. Aston with the ball to Davis. Davis juggles with it, and he just loses the ball over the line there. Unlucky there, Featherstone Rovers. It was good enterprising play, and the ball, John Davis never really had that ball, and he juggled it over his head and ended up spilling it as he went over the line, but that could have been easily another try for Featherstone Rovers.
Once again, superb handling skills, though, from Featherstone Rovers, Joanne. Moving the ball across that line again. It found its way to Davis from Aston. He had the ball, but it was over his shoulder. He just couldn't pull the ball down and take it. If he had done, he was over the line. The fans showing their appreciation, and I mentioned it pre-match. Johnny Davis, this last few games, have been absolutely outstanding for Featherstone Rovers.
Johnny Davis just getting his customary check from the physio there that he gets every game. Bradford now coming down the blind side from that scrum on the 10 metre. It comes, that's a great tackle by Richard Moore there on the Bradford player. He'll have certainly felt that. I think it was Ross Oakes that received the treatment there from Richard Moore. Really tough, hard tackle for a centre to take. So Bradford just a couple of metres short of their own 30. A lot slower playing the ball than Featherstone Rovers. They've been under the cosh this first 18 minutes, really, have Bradford, and they're feeling the effects of that as well. And they are going up the slope, of course. So Bradford taking it to their own 40. It's the last tackle. They've only made it to the 40-metre line, so they've only gone 30 metres from that scrum. As the kick comes in from Oscar Thomas, it bounces before Ian Harmon, but Ian Harmon has it under control, and he takes the ball. He runs around the outside of Ross Oakes, but he gets tackled just short of his 40. It comes now to Talapapa. Talapapa faces Bentley straight on, and but Bentley and Kirk get him to the ground on halfway, and Hardcastle now. Hardcastle driving it forward. I always say it's like having an extra forward on the field. It's Josh Hardcastle. And Scott Turner's coming for a bit of action, and he does well there. He goes forward 10 metres, tries to play the ball, but he falls down. Referee says, get back up, and it comes across to the left now with Thackeray. Thackeray with a loose pass. The touch judge is on the field, but referee's playing on, and that's a high shot on Alunya. So I think we're definitely going to get something from the referee and touch judge here. I'm not exactly sure what happened over on that left-hand side for the touch judge to come on there, Ben.
I didn't see. The only thing I can maybe think is where maybe a hand in the tackle that the referee hadn't seen, or something maybe said to him. The referee is speaking to a Bradford player now, but Rovers are going to get a penalty for what looked like a high tackle a bit later on in that play. So
it's a shoulder charge, I think, Ben, with the referee. So Featherstone taking that tap. James Lockwood, 15 metres out, gets tackled. To Thackeray, Thackeray to Alunya. Alunya out on that left centre. Bradford trying to get him into touch, and they have done. But I think the referee going to give the scrum he is. So not the best completed set there by Featherstone Rovers. Alunya getting tackled into touch early on in that tackle count. Probably the first mistake that Featherstone Rovers have made in this game. So Bradford going to set this scrum on their own 10-metre line. So we've got 21 minutes gone here at the LD Nutrition Stadium, and it's Featherstone Rovers 14, Bradford 0 as this ball comes out to Johnny Campbell. But Johnny Campbell's met by a wall of blue and white there. And Bradford now taking it up to their 20-metre line. And that's a quicker play, the ball there from Bradford. But they still only make it a few metres forward. It comes into the middle now, and Kirk, the prop forward, 35 metres away, fourth tackle. Comes into the middle with Thomas, and Thomas gets it out to the left, and Bradford standing still a little bit, but they managed to get the ball away with Oakes, but Hardcastle wraps him up. But Oakes has made it over the 40-metre. It's the last tackle now. It comes to Thomas. Thomas going to put the kick in. It comes off the side of his boot, but Hardman's there, and he takes it cleanly. So Hardman, easy kick for him to take there. And like you say, his positional sense is excellent, isn't it, Ben?
He reads the game so well, Joanne, does Ian Hardman. He follows the play from one side of the field to the other, so that when the kick comes through, he's hardly having to take a step to either side of him to take those balls. And he's so good at doing it as well.
Scott Turner with an excellent drive up to halfway, and it's a quick play the ball with Hardman. Carlisle goes scooting from dummy half, and then Thackeray in at dummy half for the next phase. Comes out to Hardcastle, but Oakes tackles him well. It's the last tackle. Featherstone 25 metres away. It goes down the short side, and Aston just drills that ball into touch. Sensible play there by Corey Aston. And it's going to be a Bradford scrum on the 10. They're making Bradford do it hard by bringing it away from deep within their own half.
Featherstone Rovers have been so impressive, Joanne, this afternoon. We talked about the way they're attacking, but on defence as well. They're so dominant in the tackle. 2-3 men in the tackle every time, making it such hard work for the Bulls coming up the field, which means that when they get into the kick on that last tackle, they're having to kick from deep, which is giving Ian Hardman the space that he needs to defend those kicks. And Rovers at the moment, whatever game plan John Sharp has put in place, it's working perfectly.
Carlisle just getting a little bit of treatment down there from the physio, but the physio has waved to say that it's okay for him to carry on. So that's why we've had a bit of a delay in this scrum being set. Billy Mallinson brought some water on, and no doubt a few instructions as well. So Thomas here to put the ball in the scrum, and it comes out from the back of the scrum, but Cooper and Moore in the tackle there. Bradford not make much ground from the scrum. It's coming forward now up to the 20, but I think it's with Johnny Campbell, and he's pushed back 5 metres as he tries to take the ball forward. Featherstone defending well this afternoon. They're lining up well, and they're into the tackles quickly on Bradford. And that's James Davis on the field for Bradford. He's just got tackled. And there's the penalty. James Davis feigned the play the ball a little bit there, and the Featherstone defence, I think it was Carlisle and Lockwood, just crept forward. The kick's taken by Keys. It goes into touch. So Bradford with a rare foray into the Featherstone half here. They're going to take the tap on the 30-metre. Bradford fans have got something to shout about at last. They haven't seen much of the action this afternoon. So the ball going forward with Evan Hodgson. So Bradford made a few interchanges in the last few minutes. It comes across to Thomas. Thomas holds the ball up. It goes to Campbell. Campbell pushes off 2 Featherstone tacklers, but Luke Cooper gets him in the end and gets him down to the floor. The Bradford fans shouting for a flop, and Featherstone not allowing Bradford to get up to play the ball. So that's another penalty to Bradford. And the tap comes. And the ball is driven towards the post by John Magrin. A couple of metres short of the line. It's important for Featherstone to keep them out. Scotty Moore tries to go himself. But Featherstone defence holds firm, but they need to recover quickly because there were 4 people in on Scotty Moore there. The ball comes out to Keys. Keys goes one way and then dances the other way. He goes to the left. Featherstone watching him. He lays it off to Oakes, but Oakes gets clattered to the floor there by Lockwood, and it comes across to Thomas. Thomas steps past Richard Moore. Richard Moore puts a high shot in on Thomas. It wrong-footed Richard Moore. So there's a penalty to Bradford. So the penalty comes to Bradford. Tap's taken, so that's 3 penalties on the trot to Bradford in quick succession. Play the ball comes now to Thomas. Thomas out to Keys. Keys dances and he's over to the right of the posts. But no, the referee's disallowed it. He's given a penalty to Featherstone Rovers.
I can only presume that is an obstruction.
Yeah,
been given there.
The referee's saying that he ran around the back of him. It was shepherding, so that he did seem to run to find a lot of space there, and obviously shepherding that's created that space. So no try for Bradford. It remains Featherstone Rovers 14, Bradford Bulls 0. Remaining in this first half as Featherstone Rovers take the tip. Darryl Griffin has entered the field for Richard Moore. And he takes it over the 40-metre line, plays the ball. It comes to Bostock, who's also entered the field. That's a great pairing to get on the field, isn't it? Bostock and Griffin.
Not bad, is it, when he can bring those two off the bench? It's Cooper that's come off for Bostock, so.
The ball's released by John Davis there. Not really on, wasn't that pass by John Davis? Featherstone just need to calm down a little bit. As the Bradford player is, Magrin is trying to go forward, but he gets pushed back by Hardcastle and Aston. So Bradford now on their own 40. Things getting a bit tasty out there. So Keys with a dummy and he's through. Keys is through. Lockwood tries to tap him, but he doesn't. It gets to Thomas. It was a terrible pass to Thomas, and Thomas puts the ball to the ground.
A shocking pass there from Joe Keys. It was a good break to find the gap, but the pass to Oscar Thomas was round his ankles. He tried desperately to hold on, but couldn't hold on. The ball's put to ground. But Featherstone Rovers need to be careful, Joanne. They need to go back to what they were doing so well in that opening 20 minutes, controlling the play, not forcing the pass, being dominant in the tackle when on defence, because it was working so well in that first 20 minutes.
It was, yeah. We've just seen it get a bit scrappy. Lots of penalties given away by Featherstone, and then that pass, which shouldn't have been done by Davis, in front of us here. Anyway, Featherstone have got the ball now from that scrum from the Thomas mistake. So it's taken over the 40-metre line by Turner, and the ball's played. It comes into the middle with Thackeray. Thackeray to Griffin. Griffin takes it up to halfway. And he gets tackled on the halfway line. Comes to Thackeray. Thackeray has to reach behind a little bit for that pass, but he gets the ball away after pushing off some Bradford players. But as Wildy enters the field for Keele Carlisle, and James Lockwood's also left the field. So Ormond Royd must be on as well, and indeed he is. There he is with the ball. His first touch of the ball for over 5 games, and it's the last tackle as he plays the ball on the 30-metre line, the Bradford 30. The ball comes high from Thackeray, and the ball is spilt by Bradford, and it's going to be a knock-on. I think it was Ilyas Makani that spilt the ball, and Featherstone are going to get the put-in at the scrum on the 10. Were you thinking there was an infringement there, Ben, by Featherstone?
I did, actually. My first thought was that we'd tackled the man in the air. I have to be honest. It was very close, let's put it that way. Put the ball on, and we talked about the interchanges. It's not bad when you can bring Jack Ormondroyd on as well, is it? So Ormondroyd, Bostock and Griffin all off the bench. I wouldn't say no to that.
And Wildy, of course, who's been in excellent form.
Course.
So Alunya now, Alunya taking it towards the post from that scrum. It's about 8 metres away from the Bradford line. Comes into Bostock. Bostock drives it forward towards the posts. Bostock plays the ball. Wildy now, Wildy to Thackeray. Thackeray to Knowles. Knowles out on that left-hand side, but Keys is in well on him there. Tackles him. 5 metres away from the line, it comes to Thackeray. Thackeray lays it off to Ormondroyd, who comes back round the left-hand side, and he gets the ball away to Knowles. Knowles to Alunya. But Alunya is brought to the floor. He keeps his legs going, actually, towards the try line, but he's just brought down, must be inches short. Plays the ball, Wildy to Thackeray. Thackeray, the flat pass to Bostock. Bostock towards the line, and he gets over. That's a try for Andy Bostock. just to the left-hand side of the post with 10 minutes remaining in this first half.
Superb work from Featherstone Rovers again. Crystal Unya driving that ball in for the sticks. He was held up inches short, and it literally was inches. But the ball then brought back in field. Andy Bostock showing the strength and power he's got. The second try in 2 consecutive home games for Andy Bostock, both under similar circumstances. Able to get that ball down, this time a metre or so to the left of the uprights. And with half an hour gone here at the LD Nutrition Stadium, it's Featherstone Rovers 18, Bradford Bulls 0.
And that was a great flat pass to Andy Bostock that enabled him to be able to charge onto that ball and just take the Bradford defenders over that line with him. So no chance there for the Bradford defence. Corey Aston, the kick for him is about 8 metres to the left-hand side of the uprights. It's a relatively simple kick, so he should make it 20 to Featherstone here in a commanding lead with 9 minutes of this first half remaining. And Aston gets it between the middle of those posts, so it is Featherstone Rovers 20, Bradford Bulls 0. The clock's just gone to 10 minutes, so 10 minutes remaining in this first half.
Rovers have played so well in this match, Joe, and the complete control as Halafihi comes on for the Bulls. The way the dominance in the tackle, the dominance the forwards are showing over the Bradford Bulls, who just can't get a foothold in this game at all at the moment.
No, it's Scott Moore that's left the field for Bradford for Halafihi. The kickoff comes from Bradford. It bounces just in front of Josh Hardcastle on this right-hand side of the Featherstone Rovers attack. Hardcastle tries to play the ball, but he's pushed to the floor. He's so quick at playing the ball, is Hardcastle. He causes lots of problems for the Bradford defence. And Bentley just had a second go at Hardcastle there, so Featherstone with the tap just inside their own half, but John Davis drives it over the halfway line, and that should have been a penalty because certainly there Evan Hodgson had another go at John Davis on the floor, but the referee's not giving anything. Griffin now plays the ball, and Bradford offside there at the play of the ball but with Halafihi, but again that's not given. So Featherstone 25 metres away from that Bradford line. It's the blue and white juggernaut coming again with Ian Hardman. Ian Hardman shows a dummy, but went past Keys, but Keys managed to get back to wrap him up with a couple of other Bradford players. It's 5 metres short of the line is this play of the ball. It comes to Thackeray. Thackeray feigns to Ormond Royd, and then Aston shows a dummy and then passes it to Hardcastle. But Bradford players were waiting for Josh Hardcastle there. It's the last tackle, and he plays the ball 8 metres away from the line. It comes into the middle with Aston, who puts a little grubber in. It comes off a Bradford player. It's play on, and he gets the ball over the line, does Corey Aston. What inventive play by Corey Aston there with that little grubber kick.
And they found the chance on from the new LD Nutrition stand on that far side. Easy, easy, easy. And Corey Aston making it look so easy then. It was a kick through on the last tackle, which a Bradford player got a hand to, which meant the tackle count was wiped clean. He was able to pick the ball up again though, Corey Aston. He showed so much strength and power, much as John Davis did last week against London, to get that ball down. Just stretching out further. We've got 7.5 minutes left, Joanne. 2 half-time, I might stress. And it's Featherstone Rovers 24, Bradford Bulls 0 with a kick to come.
And this kick is in front of the post. Corey Aston, he almost, well, I think he did collide with the Kingstone Press advertising on the bottom of the upright. I thought he wasn't going to get that ball down over the line, but he just managed to. So Corey Aston straight in front of the sticks with this conversion attempt. 7 minutes remaining in this first half. Aston strikes the ball and it goes through the middle once again. So that's Featherstone Rovers 26, Bradford Bulls 0. Like I say, 7 minutes remaining in this first half. And I did say it was a blue and Bradford were facing in this first half, and I certainly think it is. They're fed up of seeing those jerseys coming towards them, aren't they?
It's just relentless, isn't it? So utter domination from Featherstone Rovers going down that slope. The power, the size, we talked about the players coming off the bench, Joanne. The size we got coming off the bench, and Bradford Bulls just cannot cope at the minute.
They can't, so that kickoff goes to Ian Harman. Harman lays it off to Ormond Royd, who gets tackled 25 metres away from his own line. Comes to Bostock in the middle of the field now. But he's met by 3 Bradford tacklers. And he gets to his feet a little gingerly there, does Bostock. I think he took a little bit of a knock in that tackle. Lockwood now takes it up to the 40. And it comes across to the left with Thackeray. Thackeray with the inside pass to Hardman. Hardman just gets hauled down. It's unlucky there. He tries to do a quick play of the ball, and he does. Comes to Wildy. Wildy to Griffin. Griffin's away. Griffin 15 metres away from the Bradford line. He found himself in space there, did Daryl Griffin. It's a 0 tackle. It's been wiped clean. So it comes to Bostock now. And Bostock gets it back to Thackeray. Thackeray gets tackled by Keys, though. And the 2 metres away, Featherstone with a bag of tackles in the bank. So it lays off to Griffin. Griffin putting it near that line, but is just a metre short. And it looks as though we've got a Bradford injury. I think Daryl Griffin went over the top of the Bradford player and badly injured. I think he's got a head injury out there as the Bradford player. Can't quite see who it is. Yeah, I think he just got himself in the wrong position, didn't he, in that tackle on Daryl Griffin. And you do see it so often, don't you, where players get their heads in just at the wrong angle on these big players like Daryl Griffin and end up coming off second best, unfortunately. Like I say, I can't quite see who it is out there who is sat up though.
But once again, a superb break from Rovers though, Joanne. Set that position up. The half break from Ian Hardman. Keil Carlisle, so quick, so alert. Sorry, Matthew Wildy, so quick and alert to see that the Bradford Bulls didn't have anybody in at marker.
So got play on now here with Daryl Griffin. Daryl Griffin's going to play the ball a metre short of the line. It comes out to Thackeray. Thackeray to Aston. Aston to Davis. Davis with a long pass to Talapapa out on that right wing, who comes in into the middle of the field. Takes the Bradford players on, but he's tackled 7 metres short of the Bradford line. He plays the ball. Wildy running across the Bradford defence. It comes to Hardman. Hardman gets the ball out to Turner. Turner dives low. And the try is given by Mr. Jones. Scott Turner out on that left-hand side. Found himself in space and he dived low to go in over that try line to further extend Featherstone Rovers' lead to 30 points to 0.
Second try of the afternoon there for Scott Turner. Superb work again from Featherstone Rovers. Working that ball out to the left-hand side. Quick hands it was. The pass from Ian Hardman, who's been all over the place in attack this afternoon. It was a long pass out wide, cut out Michael Knowles. The pass was taken by Turner, who still had some work to do to beat the opposition winger. But he went low, he got low to the ground, able to dive under the tackle, get it down tight to that touchline again. We're not making Corey Aston's job very easy today. And like you say, Joanne, 30 points to 0. We've still got just under 5 minutes left to half time.
Matty Wildy making that try there. He ran across the face of the Bradford defence with the ball in hand, and he created that gap out on the left-hand side, which enabled Ian Harman to put the pass in to Scott Turner for him to dive in for that try. So this is a conversion attempt on the left-hand touchline by Corey Aston. And he has kicked that to further break the Bradford Bulls' hearts. It's Featherstone Rovers 32, Bradford Bulls 0, still with 4 minutes of this first half remaining. Bradford coming very slowly to take this kickoff now.
The crowd behind the sticks told you that was over about 20 yards before it actually went between the sticks. But once again, superbly works from Featherstone Rovers. The domination continues in Bradford now. They'll be desperate to get into those sheds at half-time.
So Thomas with the kickoff. He goes a different way this time. He's been kicking it towards Ian Hardman. It goes to Thackeray this time, so over on the Featherstone left, gets the ball to Griffin, and Griffin drives it forward with 3 big Bradford players on him, and now it comes to Andy Bostock, and Bostock lays the pass off, and it's almost intercepted by Bradford, but Thackeray managed to, before it was grabbed by Villa Halafihi. Now Chris Alunya with the ball, and he's tackled just over the Featherstone 40. Wildy going for a dart on his own from dummy half, and he gets away, and he gets 35 metres away. He went a full 15-20 metres in Matty Wildy there, and he plays the ball. Knowles in at dummy half to Thackeray. Thackeray the inside pass to Alunya. Alunya's away. Alunya's going, just gets ankle tapped, and is unable to score unbelievably. That was a great ankle tap by the Bradford defence. Alunya trying to play the ball. It's a real mess there. I think the Bradford are going to get penalised in the end. But gosh, I thought Chris Alunya was in for a try there. We've seen him so prolific at scoring tries here at the LD Nutrition Stadium this season.
He looked for all the world a try scorer there, did Alunya.
So the penalty tap's been taken. Jack Ormonroy driving under those posts, under that crossbar, but he's just pulled down short. It's a quick play, the ball to Wildy. Wildy gets it to Corey Aston. Corey Aston goes in for another try this afternoon. It was quite a simple play, created by Jack Ormonroy, driving it towards the post. Wildy, he's playing excellently at hooker, isn't he?
We talked about this with John Sharp post-match the past couple of games. The rotation of the 2 hookers with Carlisle and Wildy. It's a different style of play that Wildy brings, but it's so effective. It works that pass so quick out of acting half, so that the gap was there for Aston. And he was able to time the pass to perfection, Joanne, to give Aston a huge gap to go through, to get over for that try again. And Rovers are close to a point a minute in this first half. With a minute left, it's Featherstone Rovers 36, Bradford Bulls 0 with a kick to come. And just think of the points difference, what this is going to do.
Very, very important, this points difference, isn't it? Featherstone need to keep this up. Corey Aston just to the right and about 10 metres to the right hand of these uprights. Should be a relatively easy conversion for him. Chris Alunya, I think he's going to have to leave the field. Corey Aston is successful with that conversion. It's 38 points to 0 to Featherstone Rovers with just over a minute remaining of this first half. Lockwood's come on for Chris Alunya. I think when he got tackled, ankle tapped, I think he ended up injuring himself, unfortunately. So that's the only bad news of this first half, really, for Featherstone Rovers.
It is a blow, but why risk him? When you think Rovers are barring some miraculous effort from the Bulls, got this game won. They've got coming up.
Thomas there with the kick-off. Thackeray takes it cleanly, gets it to Ormonroy. Ormonroy drives it forward 10 metres. He's looking to be going well out there, even though he's got a heavily strapped left knee after that injury that's kept him out for 5 games. But he's certainly looked fresh and strong as he's been on in this first half. It comes to Griffin now. Griffin with a great flat pass to Hardman. Hardman, though, gets the ball away to Wildy. Wildy to Thackeray. So the ball's kept alive at Thackeray to Bostock, but Bostock just wasn't ready for that, and he puts the ball to ground. Johnny Campbell has it now for Bradford. It's a free play, and he gets the ball away to Bentley, and the ball's still there, and the referee eventually calls time off for half-time. Wow, what a first half for Featherstone Rovers, leading by 38 points to 0 against the Bradford Bulls at the LD Nutrition Stadium on this Easter Monday fixture, Ben.
What a first half indeed it has been, Joanne. Absolutely fantastic effort going down the slope in that first half. It started as early as the first minute with a try for Missy Talapapa that came off the back of a Bradford Bulls knock-on and dive from Talapapa to get over the line. Then we had Scott Turner held up. Afternoon, following Josh Hardcastle, Aston goal in one of them. That was 14-0. After 14 minutes, Johnny Davis knocked on over the line before Joe Keys had a try disallowed for an obstruction. Joe Keys then knocked on following an Oscar Thomas knock on. It was still 14-0. Chris Alunya was then tackled a metre short before Andy Bostock went over for a try goal by Corey Aston to make it 20-0. That was just before the half hour. Then further tries for Rovers from Corey Aston again, gold. It was held short just before Scott Turner went over. A wildy break led to Alunya being tackled just short before Corey Aston going over. What a first half, Featherstone Rovers. Total domination, Joanne.
Certainly has been total domination, yeah. I think Bradford just don't know what have hit them. I know they have a depleted side of Bradford this season. You know, they're a young side. We did talk about that, didn't we, before the game in our Facebook live broadcast. They do have a young side, but my gosh, they're certainly feeling the force of Featherstone Rovers this afternoon. And at half-time, Featherstone Rovers 38, Bradford Bulls 0. Of course, Featherstone Rovers will be going up the slope in the second half. Bradford Bulls coming down. So we'll see what happens. But I think John Sharp at half-time must be a very pleased coach.
He will be, and he'll be in that dressing room. I don't think he'll have much to say, to be honest, other than more of the same, please.
I think as well he'll probably let the players do the talking, you know, in the half-time dressing room. They've got a lot of experience out there, and I think it's one of those games there where you don't want to like mess around too much with what's gone on. There's been very few errors, and we looked at the Hull KR, the way that Featherstone Rovers were completing their sets at Hull KR was really high. So, and again in the London game the week before, the completion rate was good. So they're doing well, Featherstone Rovers, in terms of the completion. So we'll join you again for the second half in a few minutes. Please don't go away.
First section is free, and then there's 2 crowd control there.
Welcome back to the second half at the LD Nutrition Stadium here in Featherstone. Featherstone Rovers 38, Bradford Bulls 0 at half time. 7 first half tries, Joanne. And John Sharp must be delighted in that dressing room.
I think all the players and the coaching staff, all those involved with the club, will be happy with that score. The key is to keep up that dominance in the second half. The game's not over yet.
It's not, but we touched on it very briefly towards the end of the half. Just how big a boost is it to Featherstone Rovers? We talk about the dominance, but it's the points difference as well, Joanne. That is massive for us today.
Well, it is, because Toulouse did have that points difference over us because they put some big scores on this season. Very important that Featherstone Rovers do keep this up, like I say, preferably keep up the scoring, and I think that's perhaps maybe the only one thing that John Sharp's talked to them about is keeping Bradford scoreless. That would be a good aim, and also to get some more points racked up on the board.
And to keep up the intensity of their performance as well, because the intensity has been so high in that first half. The dominance not only in attack but in defence as well. Barely letting the Bulls get a sniff anywhere near that Rovers line.
No, they haven't, and it has. I think it's just been the speed at Featherstone Rovers at which they've been playing. Featherstone Rovers back on the field. Bradford yet to come out of the changing rooms. I think their half-time team talk from Lee Beattie must be taking a little bit longer.
I wonder why that might be. It won't be happy in that Bradford dressing room at half-time. Here come the Bulls for this second half. Rovers already with a victory under the belts against the Bradford Bulls, of course, under very different conditions over at Odsall in the Challenge Cup to set up next week's match against Oldham down here in the 5th round of the Challenge Cup. So, but they've picked up, Rovers have very much picked up from where they left off on Friday, haven't they?
They have, yeah. They looked full of confidence at Hull KR, and Tim Sheens himself said that if Featherstone hadn't been taking the 2 all the time, they could have actually won that game because he felt that Hull KR were on the heels, as he called it. So it does make you wonder what could have happened in that game. But it's gone now. We're here at LD Nutrition Stadium, and Oscar Thomas kicks off towards Featherstone Rovers. It's taken by Thackeray.
And here's Darryl Griffin driving that ball in the first drive of the second half. When they rotated the props in the first half, you didn't really notice any difference at all, as here comes Scott Turner now, bringing that ball up. It's like a second forward at times. That looked a bit rough-housed in the tackle. A quick glance at the referee there.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of a punch went in on his face there in the tackle, but referee not giving anything.
Ormondroyd plays that ball. Here's Griffin again, drives that ball in. As Scott Moore has returned for the Bradford Bulls at the start of the second half. Here's Thackeray now. He'll put boot to ball over the top and he'll find touch. So a good first set for Featherstone Rovers, using the tackles, getting the territory, turning the Bulls round, and they can now set a good defensive line.
Yeah, the Bulls are going to have to feed this scrum on their own 20-metre line, and that's something we saw Featherstone Rovers doing so effectively in that first half, turning Bradford around, making them. We saw a lot of scrums on the 10-metre, 10, 15, 20-metre line, the Bradford own line, having to bring it from deep within their own half, and it just seems like a long way up that field for them against this wall of blue and white.
Here's Johnny Campbell then from that first tackle. Scott Moore is back on for the Bulls, and the ball is out, worked out to that left-hand side, but that Rovers defence is solid and tackling the Bulls on the 30. Ball's brought in field. Through the hands it goes of Oscar Thomas, who actually drives that ball in and takes that tackle. So here are the Bulls then, driving that ball in. They're over their own 40. 5 metres shy of halfway now. Scott Moore waits. He moves that ball towards his right-hand side. And that is good play by Davies. He gets up to the Rovers 40 before, but he's tackled by Lockwood. Slow to get to his feet though, Davies. It's on the last tackle, and here's Thomas. He'll put that ball in the air towards Talapapa. Talapapa watches it all the way. No real pressure on Talapapa at all. Had all the time in the world, and he took it really casually, Joanne.
He was as cool as anything there, wasn't he, Talapapa? He was just going, yeah, let the ball come to me here. I've got this covered.
Wildy moves that ball in field to Ian Hardman now. Hardman makes a good 10 metres. Tackled a couple of metres shy of the Rovers 40. Ball comes left. Thackeray again to Lockwood now. Lockwood drives that ball up to halfway. Good play from Featherstone Rovers. Wildy looks to go short side, comes back in field. Thackeray now. Griffin to Aston. Aston to Hardman. Hardman, it's an intercept. It's an intercept, and Corey Aston is chasing down Ross Oakes. But Ross Oakes is over in the corner for the first try of this second half.
Yeah, Bradford get their first score on the board. They'd have wanted that. So there goes Featherstone Rovers' aim of keeping Bradford scoreless. It was a pass from Ian Hardman. He perhaps didn't look, and Ross Oakes was up in the Featherstone Rovers line, and it just went straight into his hands. Corey Aston valiantly tried to chase Ross Oakes down, but it wasn't to be. It did make it more difficult for the conversion attempt. But yes, Bradford get their first points on the board from that intercept, with 4 minutes of this second half gone.
Disappointing from a Rovers point of view, though. That's the second try in a couple of weeks which Rovers have conceded from intercept passes. So that'll be disappointing from John Sharp's point of view. But credit Ross Oates there, as Oscar Thomas's kick attempt drops over. So we've got 4 minutes gone in this second half. Featherstone Rovers 38, Bradford Bulls 6.
Yeah, it's not the start that Featherstone would have wanted, and it's. I almost feel really disappointed that Bradford have got that try, really, and Featherstone they do need to just make sure that they are concentrating when they're giving those passes. It was a pass in the middle of the field from Ian Hardman, and like I say, I just felt as though there were a little lapse in concentration, and because Ross Oakes was standing there, and if he'd have just looked as the kickoff comes and it's taken by Halafihi, and he lays it off to a Bradford player, and Bradford are 25 metres away from their own line.
It's McCartney who plays that ball, and the ball comes out right now. Rovers just need to keep that intensity they had in that first half. And here's the drive in again, but good defence from Featherstone Rovers. Scott Moore waits. He comes down the short side again.
Good tackle by Knowles there, wasn't it, on Leroyer?
The ball's now inside the Rovers half on that last tackle. So it's a kick from Scott Moore. Ian Hardman, we've said it time and time again, positional play perfect. Taking that ball on the full. And not only that, John, he brings it back in field, giving Rovers options left and right.
Certainly does, yeah. It was a great play by Ian Hardman. He was there alert for that kick on the last by Bradford, and Featherstone Rovers on the 30, and seems to have taken her age. And I have noticed that Bradford do seem to be slowing the ball down quite a bit at the moment. And there's a penalty to Featherstone. Just as I was saying that, Talapapa is a master at getting these penalties. He's such an elusive character, and he's a strong character and tries to play the ball quickly, and Bradford couldn't cope with that. And Featherstone need to go back to that, playing the ball quickly and causing Bradford problems.
So Thackeray with the touch finder, he gets over halfway. Rovers will start 5 minutes inside, 5 metres, inside the Bulls half. Wildy then to Thackeray. Here goes Ormondroyd. He's tackled centre field. Wildy again, he'll have a scoot himself before bringing it out to Thackeray left. And here's Lockwood now driving that ball in. Rovers a couple of metres outside the Bulls 20 here. Here's Thackeray. Thackeray comes in field, delays the pass to Aston. Aston to Davis. Rovers driving that ball in. It's good play. Tackle 10 metres out. Wildy has a scooty, finds Andy Bostock. Already got one try this afternoon, Bostock. He's held up a metre short though. Wildy finds Darryl Griffin. Darryl Griffin is over for the try. And Rovers resume where they picked off in that first half. We've had 8 minutes of the second. It's now Featherstone Rovers 42, Bradford 6.
Yeah, Featherstone in a good position where they're driving towards that Bradford line. It was Andrew Bostock who taken it up first. The big forwards playing the part in that try. And then Matty Wilde just laying the ball off to Darryl Griffin, who powered his way over the try line to put Featherstone Rovers even further ahead in this game. And it's a good response to that Bradford try.
So barely 7 minutes gone in this second half. We've already had 2 tries. One from Ross Oakes and one now for Darryl Griffin. But Rovers showing the power they've got in the forwards there, Joanne. It was a drive-in before from Andy Bostock, which created the gap and the quick play the ball that we've been wanting. And Griffin able to find the gap.
And in the lead-up, obviously that came from the penalty, didn't it? After Talapapa tried to play the ball very quickly. In the lead-up to that try, after the penalty had been taken, the tap, it was quick play the balls all the way. And despite Bradford trying to slow it down, Corey Aston just setting his tee up now.
About 15 metres in from touch. Here comes the kick. Straight between the uprights it goes. So we've had 9 minutes of this second half. And it's Featherstone Rovers 44, Bradford Bulls 6.
Yeah, business as we were now, isn't it? With that 38-point lead Featherstone Rovers have got at the moment, and just over half an hour left in this game. It is a commanding lead as Oscar Thomas, as he's done so often this afternoon, brings the tee for the kick-off, and it kicks off and it goes to Thackeray, and Thackeray lays it off to Ormond Royd, who drives it in towards his own 20-metre line.
Good first drive in from Ormond Royd, but good defence from the Bulls. Here goes Scott Turner. It's like another forward at times, Scott Turner, the way he comes in field, isn't it?
He certainly is. James Davis put one in on him there, though, so he's doing it tough out there, is Scott Turner. But yeah, it's I think Matty Wilde paid credit to him as the ball comes across with John Davis here. John Davis gets it away to Hardcastle. Hardcastle makes it over halfway, but he loses the ball. So Bradford are going to come up with possession here.
So a mistake by Hardcastle there, and just inside the Bulls half. The Bulls are going to get a full set in the Rovers half now, and that's a good first drive in there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Matty Wilde in the post-match reaction on Friday actually talked about the people like Scott Turner bringing it in and giving the forwards a bit of a break, and he is so effective as Bradford get a penalty there for Featherstone not clearing the ruck. So Bradford gets some more metres down that field towards the Post Office Road end.
Ryan then takes that tap, and it's driven in now by Evan Hutchison. No, it says he'll take it again, so Ryan will try again. Then it'll be driven in by Leroyer instead. So Leroyer 15 metres out, 15 in from touch on this near side. The Bradford Bulls right, Scott Moore waits, he comes down the short side. Looks to be a loose tackle there, I think, from Thackeray.
Referee says it was on the shoulder.
Halafihi. And the Bulls driving for that line. Scott Moore waits. He moves the ball in field. Thomas now spreads it out wide further. Here's the try scorer, Ryan. He gets the ball away. Oh, superb read, though, from Featherstone Rovers in defence.
Missy Talapapa there. He said, come on, you're mine.
He had the tackle lined up before he even got the ball. And here's the Bulls now with Tomlinson on the last. So, Thomas, he'll try and put a kick through. That's way too heavy, though. Anthony Thackeray will watch that ball go dead. And that'll give Rovers a bit more confidence back in defence after that early Bradford try, Joanne.
Yes, taps taken quickly there by Featherstone Rovers, and they made it up to the 40 already, and the last 6 tackles to come now.
Castle over halfway. That speed's back in this Rovers play again at the minute. Here's Thackeray. Thackeray moves it out to Lockwood. Lockwood takes on that line. He had Knowles on the shoulder, but he couldn't release the arm to get the ball away. Wildy waits. He'll go right to Thackeray. Thackeray sees the gap and goes for it. Collared, but the referee says no, it's okay. Rovers then on the Bulls 20. Here's Hardman again. Takes on the line, finds Knowles again. Knowles driving that ball forward.
Scott Moore injured in that Bradford line. I'd be driving it towards him, I think.
Wildy has a go himself. Tackled a couple of metres short, so Thackeray waits, attacks in half. Here's the last tackle. He'll dab a kick through. Rovers are, I thought they'd got that ball down, Joanne. The referee says no, it was dead though.
Late Jack Ormonroyd thought he got the ball down, and somebody's going in the bin for dissent. Is it Andy Bostock? Oh dear, Andy Bostock showing a bit of dissent there to the referee, and the referee said, I'm sorry, you can't talk to me like that. You're going for 10 minutes. So Featherstone down 12 men for 10 minutes.
So the Bulls then with the man advantage, it's now down to them to use it. And immediately the ball is swung out wide. Over on that far side, is Amari Caro. Over halfway come the Bulls, and they've got an opportunity now. Driving that ball in, but good defence from Rovers. We've had 12 and a half minutes of the second half. Featherstone Rovers 44, Bradford 6. Here's McCartney, but he's tackled into touch. So good defence, and it's Scott Turner again with that tackle, Joanne. He's having a great game this afternoon.
Certainly is, yeah. McCartney in a bit of an impossible situation there. He was tight on this right-hand touchline, but Scott Turner was there in defence. It was good defence by him to say that Bradford have got a man over. They're trying to put it out to these flanks, but it's not working for them at the moment. So Featherstone with the scrum 25 metres away from the line. We'll just recap while they're setting this scrum about the Bostock 10 minutes. It was Ormonroyd that looked to have touched down. Bostock obviously thought that as well, and said something out of turn to the referee.
Here goes Ian Hardman, and Rovers are going to make a double interchange soon. In fact, they're making it now. Off come Griffin and Ormonroyd, on come Moore and Cooper. And Rovers now driving that ball forward with Josh Hardcastle, 35 metres out.
And Griffin and Ormonroyd, what a stint they've put in while they've been on the field. Both leading by example in the front of that pack with Andy Bostock, who's also off with that 10 minutes. But to bring Moore and Cooper on, who also play well, as Matty Wildy goes from acting half, and he gets tackled 32 metres away from the Bradford line.
What a scoop from Matty Wildy that was. He saw a gap and went through it. Moore now to Thackeray. Thackeray dances round one. He put a kick in for the corner. The Turner to chase, and it's put out on this near side by McCartney. So Rovers are going to get head and feed at the scrum on the Bradford Bulls 10.
Yeah, Featherstone putting the pressure on. It was good enterprising play by Anthony Thackeray there. He found himself, he dodged around the Bradford players. He could see that Scott Turner was in space out on this left-hand side, and he put the kick in. It just got taken into touch, though, by McCartney, but it was good play there by Featherstone Rovers, and they've got the rewards with a scrum 12 metres away from the Bradford line.
We've had 15 minutes of the second half here at the LD Nutrition Stadium. I nearly got it wrong again. I will remember. It's Featherstone Rovers 44, Bradford Bulls 6.
It's just because you've been saying it for how many years, is it? I think about 4 years.
Something like that, yeah. I will remember. I'll stop myself. And here's Thackeray down the short side to Knowles. Knowles for the line. It's held up a metre short. Is Michael Knowles. Great ingenuity there. Turner from acting half. Finds Lockwood now. Matty Wildy waits. He moves the ball to Thackeray. Thackeray to Davis, but ball put to ground.
I thought Davis was tackled without the ball there, and he was facing his own post, so I thought it as well. It had gone backwards. It could have gone either way there, but the referee said no, it's a knock-on by Davis, so it's a a put in at the scrum on the 10-metre line. Bradford going to get this scrum on their own 10-metre.
Referee just speaking to both sets of players at the moment as the scrum is setting. 6-6 in the second half, but Rovers after that commanding first half, leading by 44 points to 6 here are the Bulls then. Scott Moore moves that ball in field through Oscar Thomas, but good dominant defence again from Featherstone Rovers. Richard Moore there, and here come the Bulls again. They're up to their own 30. Moore brings that ball in field. That's a good drive in there from Tomlinson, who plays the ball. The ball's taken by Moore. He's moved it out wide, but that's a penalty there for the Bradford Bulls. Offside, I think.
Oh, it was high in the tackle count, was that as well, wasn't it? So when you're down to 12 men there, the kind of penalties you don't want to be giving away, and Bradford are going to have this tap on the Featherstone 30.
And here is that first drive in again from Tomlinson. The Bulls then driving that ball in. They're in the Rovers 20 now with Brandon Wilkinson. But Rovers 3 in that tackle. 2 of which were Lockwood and Moore. Thomas now. That ball goes through the hands. Here's Leroy for a forward pass. The Bulls, when they've got their man over, an opportunity like that, Joanne, they can't be affording to bomb those with forward passes.
The car, Oscar Thomas, he was showing a bit of a dummy, and he feigned the pass, and then he got it to Leroy, but Leroy just overran it, and it ended up being a forward pass 15 metres away from the Featherstone line. So Featherstone going to get the put in at this scrum. It's not been the free-flowing rugby that we saw in the first half, as it in this second half. It's been a little bit scrappy, but Featherstone just settling down a little bit while they've got this man short, and Scott Turner in the middle of the field takes it from that scrum, and he's pushed off the ball as he tries to play it, and that surely is a penalty, and it certainly is.
Yeah, Scott Turner, interference there at the tackle by him. So the referee allowing penalties. Rovers take the penalty 10 yards forward from where it was.
I was ready to catch that ball from Anthony Thackeray then as he put the boot to touch, but just fell short of me.
Oh, here's Richard Moore instead. Gets over halfway now. Again, the Bulls all over in the tackle. Wilde finds Thackeray now. Thackeray to Lockwood to Knowles. Knowles gets away from 2, drives that ball in. Rovers just playing quite a congested game at the moment, aren't they?
They are, but Bradford's laying on in the ruck, something terrible at the moment, and referee not picking up on it, and I think that's why it's been scrappy. But here's Luke Cooper with a break. Luke Cooper's away. Luke Cooper, he's going for the try line. Luke Cooper has got over the try line. Hold on, the referee's referee says he's held up over the line.
Oh, Luke Twinkle Toes Cooper. Where did that come from?
Unfortunately, he was held up over the line, and I think what has the referee given is said he's held up over, so it's going to be a tap on the 10 metre. Just didn't get the ball down.
Luke Twinkle Toes Cooper, though. Here's Thackeray now. Thackeray to Lockwood's put the ball down. So it is going to be a scrum, head and feet to the Bulls. But Twinkle Toes, what a beautiful step. It's a one-on-one steal. But what a beautiful step that was from Luke Cooper, Joanne.
It certainly was, yeah. It was through clean, wasn't he? And I thought he'd got the try there. He just got caught by the Bradford defence, but Featherstone with a scrum on the 10 metre, and it comes out to Hardman. Hardman's going round the outside of Thomas, but he gets tackled 8 metres away from his own line, from the Bradford line.
Plays the ball to Hardcastle. Hardcastle finds Aston now. Here goes Cooper again. Trying to show the Twinkle Toes again. Absolutely brilliant work from Cooper. Pushed back though, it's 5 metres away.
I think we've got a new nickname for him.
Here's Aston now. Thackeray. Thackeray to Lockwood. That ball's put down again though. First knock on from Featherstone. Into Lockwood in the past couple of minutes.
Yeah, it was Thackeray to Lockwood. It was just Lockwood unable to take it there, and so it's going to be a Bradford scrum 15 metres away from their own line. And like you say, just a couple of, I think the short passes to Lockwood, aren't they? And Bradford are getting into his face really quickly and putting pressure on him.
So we've got 20 minutes left here at the Bigfellas Stadium. No, it's not. It's at the LD Nutrition Stadium. I knew I'd get it wrong at least once today.
We should have had a Bigfellas sweepstake, shouldn't we? Yeah.
So 20 minutes left at the LD Nutrition Stadium. It's Featherstone Rovers 44, Bradford Bulls 6. The Bulls coming out now off their own 30. Just a couple of metres shy of the 40-metre line. So the ball comes right. Here's Thomas. Runs straight at Cooper, and that's good defence. Helped out by Wildy and Hardman. Moore now brings that ball in field. The Bulls go over halfway. Luke Cooper's getting through a lot of work in this set. It's on the last tackle now, so Oscar Thomas puts that ball in the air. For some reason, Anthony Thackeray was back at fullback then. He's taking that ball at fullback. It's a bit of a strange one. He's now breaking from the offload. Joanne?
And there's touch judges on the field there. Thackeray and Halafihi having a little set to on the floor, and Halafihi's going to get penalised for Bradford. Thackeray not happy at all. I said that there was a lot of messing around in the ruck this afternoon. The referee's going to give a penalty to Featherstone as Andy Bostock re-enters the field. So Featherstone back up to a full complement of players out there.
So Wildy to Ian Hardman. Here goes Andy Bostock with that first drive. Rovers just on the Bradford 40 now. Wildy again. Aston. Thackeray. Quick hands out to Hardcastle. Good work from Featherstone Rovers. Talapapa attacks in half. Finds Thackeray again. Here's John Davis now. Davis dancing around two.
Obstruction.
Obstruction, I'm afraid.
Danced around Andy Bostock there, did the player John Davis. So that's a penalty against Featherstone Rovers to Bradford. Bradford on their own 30, going to take this kick. So, like I say, a bit of a scrappy second half. This, I feel that Bradford are laying in the ruck a lot. That's an enormous kick from Oscar Thomas. The tap's going to be taken on the Featherstone 30 by Bradford. So a bit of possession in the Featherstone pitch, but Featherstone back up to 13 players. But like I say, it has been a scrappy opening 23 minutes in this second half. It's not been the free-flowing game we saw in that first half.
Here are the Bulls then. It's a good drive in there. But pass goes behind everyone. That's awful. Oscar Thomas says to Johnny Campbell, no, I'm having that one. And he's tackled on the Rovers 20. He'll play that ball to Moore. Moore moves that ball in field to Brandon Wilkinson, who makes it 11 metres away from the Rovers line. And there's an offload, and here's a good drive in from the Bulls again. On that last tackle, now Bradford Bulls. So Scott Moore then finds Oscar Thomas. Under pressure from Andy Bostock, it's a good kick. Bradford are over though, and it's a try for Ross Oakes. His second of the afternoon. And we've got 16 and a half left here at the LD Nutrition Stadium. Featherstone Rovers 44, Bradford Bulls 10.
Yeah, it was a kick from Oscar Thomas. Scott Moore held the ball. He took it out to Thomas. Thomas kicked over to that left-hand side. It was a challenge between Talapapa and the Bradford player, and Talapapa unable to take the ball out on that left-hand side. It went into the try zone, and it was touched down by Ross Oakes, like you say, for his second try of the afternoon, and Bradford's second try of the afternoon too.
A disappointing second half this from Featherstone Rovers. After the fast-flowing rugby that we saw in the first half, there was almost a complete first half performance. As here comes a kick from Thomas. He's kicked it, you know. So we've got 15.5 left here at the LD Nutrition Stadium. Featherstone Rovers 44, Bradford Bulls 12. And after the free-flowing rugby of the first half, Rovers have seemed very disjointed in the second, Joanne.
I'm not sure that Rovers have seen disjointed. Like I said, I felt that Bradford have come out with a tactic in this second half. They seem to be slowing the ruck down, slowing that play of the ball down. Featherstone were far too fast for Bradford in that first half. There's a lot of laying on in the ruck in this second half, and I think that the referee's allowing Bradford to get away with it, to be honest, and that's been the difference in this second half. I don't think it's anything that we should say against Featherstone of how they're playing. They're trying to play the best they can. Bradford, though, with the ball from that kickoff.
Attacking down that Rovers, their left-hand side. That ball, though, is knocked on. They look like they were going to be pushed into touch. They've tried to offload. As it is, Richard Moore's offloaded himself.
It's a free play, so it's going to be a scrum from that first knock-on. So that's why Richard Moore decided to offload that ball. He knew it was a free play. So it's going to come back for the scrum from that original Bradford mistake. So Featherstone are going to get the putting at this scrum 25 metres away from the Bradford line.
But that came from the intensity over on that far side, pushing the winger towards that touchline. He realised he was going into touch, tried to offload that pass, but the ball going forward. So that's credit the Featherstone defence there.
Yeah, as Featherstone put the ball into this scrum and it comes out with Thackeray. Thackeray lays it off to Hardcastle in the middle of the field and he takes it 20 metres away from the Bradford line.
And he's directly in front of Sticks. He'll play that ball. Keil Carlisle has returned for Featherstone Rovers. I'm assuming for Matty Wilde. And the ball's out left now with Thackeray. And Michael Knowles just couldn't take that pass. If he'd taken that pass, he was over the line. But
yeah,
not able to take it.
That's a try gone begging, is that one? It should have been a try. That pass from Thackeray, nothing wrong with it. Michael Knowles unable to take it and juggle with the ball, and it went. So Featherstone, this 50 points is elusive to them at the moment. They're not able to get it, and it'd be nice if they could get a 50 this afternoon.
It would. And it would do wonders for the confidence as well. Off the back of a great result on Friday, to get a 50-point win over Bradford today, on the back of that, we'll see if that can happen. We've got 13.5 minutes left. It's 44 points to 12 at the minute.
And there's a penalty to Bradford there. I think it could be a high shot. As the referee calls time up, he's just having a chat with James Lockwood about this, asking him to keep the tackles down, I think. I think he's going to penalise him for a high shot here. So Thomas is going to take this kick to touch. And the tap's going to be on halfway for Bradford.
So here are the Bulls then. It's a tap from Ethan Ryan. He'll move that ball in field, but Thackeray involved in that tackle with Lockwood. On Laroya. And that's another good drive in by Halafihi. More again now, Thomas. A flat pass out wide to James Bentley. More again, Thomas again now. And here's Wilkinson. The Bulls are 15 metres out. In front of our sticks, it's right with Thomas. Thomas to Laroya, who moves it on to Ryan. Ryan against Michael Knowles, but good defence from Knowles. McCartney waits, attacks in half-back. Here's the last tackle. Ball swung into Oscar Thomas again. He'll put another crossfield kick in. Tyler Papa under that one. Takes that one well on the full and is looking for a quick tap. And he gets to tap away. He'll drive that ball in himself. That's good play from Tyler Papa.
Yeah, I think he was a bit disappointed with how he dealt with the one that led to the Ross Oaks try previously. He made sure that he got underneath that, took it in the in-goal area as Chris Alunya enters the field, re-enters the field for Featherstone Rovers.
It's Johnny Davis who's come off, and Rovers now into the Bradford half to go. In fact, they're up to the 40. That's a good play, the ball. Here is Richard Moore now. Moore gets over the 30. He makes 15 metres, Richard Moore. Good defence, good play there. Carlisle comes left with Thackeray. Thackeray puts the kick over. Well taken though by Johnny Campbell, and a good chase from Featherstone Rovers.
Yeah, so Featherstone Rovers putting the kick with Thacker. It went over the top of Campbell, but he took it well. But Bradford having to bring it out from within their 10 now.
And there's a good drive in, but Luke Cooper there involved in that tackle as well. So good work from Featherstone Rovers, a good defensive set so far. The ball's worked out towards that left-hand edge, but Rovers are dominant in the tackle there. It's a good switch of play, and that's the Bulls are just trying to work it out. Here's the last tackle. They're only on their own 30, Bradford Bulls.
Yeah, they've only made 25 metres there. I think Bentley's in strife out there.
Not the best pass to Thomas. But that kick has turned round. That's a great kick from Thomas. He's made it to 5 metres away from that Rovers line. Here's a good return from Hardman though. Hardman to Talapapa. He's tackled and pushed back. So Rovers will restart this set. 25 out. The ball's come loose. It's been given as a knock on. We've got 3,112 here today. We've got 10 minutes left at the LD Nutrition Stadium. Featherstone Rovers 44, Bradford Bulls 12.
Harmon did ever so well there. He took the ball in, he evaded quite a few Bradford players and then got it away to Talapapa. Talapapa got wrapped up, tried to pass the ball in an impossible situation with Bradford players around him. He should have been just holding on to that ball. This is what we say about good game management. Luckily, Featherstone Rovers have got an extensive lead here at LD Nutrition Stadium, but Bradford have got the putting at this scrum when they really had no right to be in that part of the field, as they're sort of 25 metres away from the Featherstone Rovers line.
And Ethan Ryan it is who plays that ball, and that's Kirk running straight at a retreating player, trying to kid the referee. Credit the referee there, though he wasn't having any of that one. And here's Leroy now. He takes on that line. He's tackled well, though, just by Richard Moore. A good passing field, but good defence from Andy Bostock on that occasion. It was a great tackle. Moore again. Here's Thomas. Thomas tries to take on the line himself, but well tackled by Richard Moore. Here's that last tackle now. A kick through and Thackeray takes it well. Finds Alunya. Bit of a strange pass to Chris Alunya, Joanne.
Yeah, he did well, did Alunya there. Thackeray passing it on his own try line to Alunya. Felt as though he could get Alunya away, didn't. And again, Michael Knowles not happy with the attention from Leroy in the tackle. Like I was saying, that they are slowing this play, the ball down, slowing the ruck. It's Kirk now that's all over Scott Turner. And the ball comes out now to Hardcastle, and Hardcastle makes it up to halfway.
Almost a bit of twinkle toes there from Hardcastle. Here's Carlisle now, finds Cooper. Cooper drives that ball about 35 metres out from the Bulls line. Centre field, it's on the last tackle. So it's Thackeray who will find Knowles. Knowles puts a kick over the top. That's a horrible kick straight down the throat to Johnny Campbell, who returns it superbly. The Bulls are away down the left-hand side. Caro gets the ball in field, and he's put down horribly. What a chance that was for Bradford.
It is a free play, though, so although the referee is going to go back to a Bradford player who's laid out prone on the floor just short of his own 20-metre line. He's calling the touch judges over. I didn't see what happened in back play there, but the Bradford player that is out flat on the floor, and I'm hoping that we're not going to see anything like a card for a Featherstone Rovers player here, because the referee has matched the play back right to the Bradford 18-metre line where there's this player out flat. I think, is it Talapapa is calling over? Ian Hardman is the
Ian
captain.
Hardman's the captain.
He's going in his pocket.
Who's that? Is it Talapapa?
It's a 10 minutes for Missy Talapapa. Not sure what happened there. Awful kick, wasn't it, by Michael Knowles? Thackeray passed it to Knowles. Knowles, I don't think, wanted that ball on the last. He put a terrible kick in. Johnny Campbell just said, thank you very much. The ball was whipped out quickly to the left. And all I can think, it was a late challenge by Talapapa on the Bradford player that's led to him having 10 minutes in the bin. Let's hope it's not a disciplinary committee offence, that, because after getting him back after his visa for so long, we don't want to be losing him so soon.
Rovers were down to 12 for the remainder of this game now. We've got 8 minutes left here at the LD Nutrition Stadium. Still, Rovers can't get that 50. And here are the Bradford Bulls now in possession. So that's a good drive in there from Liam Kirk. Gets the Bulls up to the Rovers. Thomas now takes on the line. He moves that ball in field. And here's Alafihi. Donaldson finds Thomas again. Here's Kirk again. Bradford Bulls 9 metres out under those sticks. Here's Brandon Wilkinson now. On that last tackle, Bradford Bulls. Thomas will dink one through for the line. Corey Aston says no. None of that. I'll run that one dead. It'll be a dropout. Rovers will take that. A good defensive set. It gives them a chance to regroup, reset the defensive patterns and start again, Joanne.
Yeah, it certainly will. Like I say, down one man, aren't they? So Featherstone going to take this drop out quite slowly. Michael Knowles just retrieved the ball. 7 minutes remaining in this game. It's Featherstone Rovers 44, Bradford 12. Not as much flair in the second. But eventually Les McCartney gets the job, flips it out to Ross Oakes out there on that left-hand side, who's wrapped up 22 metres away from the Featherstone line.
He's on a hat-trick, is Ross Oakes as well, and here come the Bulls now into that Rovers 20. 15 metres away. Just to the left of those uprights. Here's Thomas now. Shows it once, and he moves that ball out. That's good play again from Halafihi, who's tackled 5 metres short. Slow playing the ball. Looks to have picked up an injury. Thomas now. Here's Moore. Tries to spin out of the tackle, but spins straight into Jack Ormondroyd, which means he's going nowhere. Thomas again now. That ball's worked out to Johnny Campbell. He's away. Away from Aston, Johnny Campbell, but Rovers scramble across. It's on the last tackle, says the referee. And they're trying to go down the short side and run it. It's an overhead pass to Thomas, who puts the ball. That's an awful kick from Oscar Thomas. Out on the full. And when you've got so much pressure on against a team with 12 men, Joanne, that's not how you want to complete your sets. It's
not, but to be fair to Oscar Thomas, it is a very short in goal area here at the LD Nutrition Stadium, and he's not used to that at Odsall. He has a lot more room to play with, so sometimes for visiting players it is a bit difficult to get hold of. He has done 2 now, though, that have gone dead, but on the whole he has had a decent game as Oscar Thomas, especially in this second half for Bradford.
Here is Josh Hardcastle then, just about 5 metres inside the Bulls half. Another slow play the ball. Here's Richard Moore now. Bounces off one, he gets over the Bradford 40.
Shall we sing We Want 50?
Another untidy play, the ball. How is that a penalty? It comes loose.
It's a crazy rule, is this, isn't it? There's men all over Richard Moore in that ruck. He tries to play the ball, and the penalty goes against him because he says that he's not played the ball properly. It's a crazy rule, is this? I don't understand it sometimes, how the player in possession, just for wanting to play the ball quickly, can get penalised. Anyway, so Bradford on the attack now. 4 minutes remaining in this game. It's Featherstone 44, Bradford 12.
Here's Magrin, he plays the ball 25 out. Here's Oscar Thomas again. Thomas spreads that wall out wide to Oates. And the Bulls are in over in the corner with, I think it is on that far side, it's Amari Caro over for the Bulls in the corner off the back of a crazy penalty, Joanne.
Yeah, it's more or less walked it in for Bradford there because Featherstone are down to 12 men and craziness really. I think they're from I don't know, the officials. I don't agree with these rules that are given against people. I think when it's a very clear incorrect play the ball, fair enough, but when there's several players in the ruck, how is the player supposed to create space to play the ball? Anyway, Bradford have scored 44, Bradford 16.
And we're inside the last 3 minutes, and here goes Oscar Thomas. He's kicked it, a great conversion from Thomas. Tight to that touchline. We're inside the last 3 minutes, and it's Featherstone Rovers 44, Bradford Bulls 18.
Not done great for our points difference, has it, this second half? We thought we were going to put a bit of a cricket score on here, but fair play to Bradford. They've come out with certain tactics in this second half, I do believe, and they've contained Featherstone. They've stopped them playing the ball quickly in this second half. They've managed to get away with that, and it's meant that Featherstone Rovers haven't piled as many points on in this second half, and Bradford have actually are winning it this second half 18-6 at the moment.
So that kickoff is taken, and here goes Liam Kirk on the drive. Well met though by Michael Knowles and Luke Cooper. Bradford Bulls then driving that ball in. Ball's worked out on that far side with Oscar through the hands of Oscar Thomas, but well read on that occasion. Carlisle, Aston and Lockwood all in the tackle. Here are the Bulls, and it's Liam Kirk who drives that ball in now. Don't concede anymore, Featherstone, surely.
I think Michael Knowles is after a one-on-one steal. Richard Moore saw that and he laid off the tackle, but Knowles unable to reef that ball from Kirk. And here comes the kick from Thomas. And McCarney chases it.
That is off Scott Turner, I think.
I do believe it was. So it's a Bradford put-in at the scrum.
That was the correct call. Scott Turner it was, who actually did knock that ball dead.
Although there were a few Bradford players in front of Oscar Thomas when he took that kick. They're on the last tackle, but it wasn't spotted by the touch judge. Richard Moore just getting some treatment. I think he's just feeling... He does suffer, doesn't he, with strains on his legs, and he's looking as though he's got a bit of a leg strain down there at the moment. The physio's working on it. Referee says, come on, back to your feet, get in that scrum.
We're inside the last minute of this match, so there may be a few seconds extra on the timekeeper's watch. Here are the Bulls then, more out to the base of scrum to Thomas. The ball's worked out, Campbell out wide again to Caro. Rovers get across quickly that time to cover that gap. And here goes Leroy now, and it's worked out on that left-hand edge again. An offload to nobody, and at the moment, is that Johnny Campbell? Oh! Ouch, 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 ouch.
Come to daddy, Luke Cooper. Get in there. What a tackle on Campbell there by Cooper.
Do we have a competition for tackle of the day? And now Rovers get a penalty at the scrum, at the play of the ball. Alafihi not happy with some attention he got in the scrum there. Pushed the Rovers player to his feet, to the floor. Jones said, none of that, mate, a penalty against you. But
come on, Fev.
Tackle.
I would say, come on, Fev, let's have 50. Come on. Thax with the kick to touch. So Featherstone going to take this tap on just short of halfway line with Keil Carlisle, and it comes to Thackeray and then Cooper. Cooper takes it up to halfway. That looks a high tackle on Cooper.
A bit round the head to me.
Certainly felt it, didn't he?
Slow to play the ball. Richard Moore now. We're not going to get the 50. But Rovers are convincing victors here at the LD Nutrition Stadium. Joanne, if you can talk us through what's happened.
Featherstone Rovers convincing victors. Featherstone Rovers 44, Bradford Bulls 18 in this round 11 Kingstone Press Championship. It was all about the first half for Featherstone Rovers. They piled on 7 tries and 5 goals unanswered in that first half. In the second half, it was a slightly different story. Bradford seemed to get their game together a little bit and managed to contain Featherstone Rovers. Bradford put on 3 tries and 3 goals in that second half to Featherstone's 1 try and 1 goal. However, this will do lots for Featherstone Rovers' top 4 aspirations. It's a great win here at the LD Nutrition Stadium. There's a break next week for the Challenge Cup, but they'll be back in the Kingstone Press Championship in the week after.
A great performance from Rovers, Joanne, especially in that first half. You've got to credit the way that they went about it. They were so dominant in that first half, weren't they?
They were. It got a bit scrappy in the second half. You know, Bradford slowed the ruck down, the ruck speed down. They got in the ruck a lot more. It was an obvious play by them, I think. Featherstone got a bit frustrated, ended up with 2 yellow cards with Bostock and Talapapa. So not a bad second half by Featherstone Rovers, but it certainly didn't see the free-flowing flair of that first half. So we're going to go down for the post-match press conference with John Sharp and also get some reactions from the players. Listen out for them from RoversTV during the next few days, and we'll see you again for the Challenge Cup tie against Oldham here at the LD Nutrition Stadium next Sunday.
Thank you for your company this afternoon, Joanne.
Yeah, thanks, Ben.
And it has finished here at the LD Nutrition Stadium in round 11 of the Kingstone Press Championship. Featherstone Rovers 44, Bradford Bulls 18.